at least I'm hoping the conversation is done. I'm hoping we have moved on, because if not, this is going to be a repeat of a few sessions ago where it was just, hey listener, if you're hearing this now, it means that Crash made a mistake, didn't cut this out, and he has many, many regrets. As Crash glares over at Beth.
To me?
Specifically Beth.
What did I do? I forget.
I'm not going to repeat it now that we're recording.
But actually,
sorry.
That conversation though actually does remind me of one of my favorite podcasts right now, which is Stuff the British Stole, which is where a guy just walks through the London museums and points out things that were stolen from indigenous tribes and points out why they stole them and how effed up it is. And then also, and every single one goes, so can you return this to like the Maori people? No.
I think
like you can tell he's staring at the camera for the podcast, like, see?
I think the thing that bothers me the most about that is that's a podcast that has been designed for longevity. They're not gonna run out of content.
Nope.
No, it's tragic, but I've learned some really cool things about, history of the peoples that were stolen from.
Sometimes after mass genocides. Usually.
Yes.
Usually after mass genocide.
That's
anyway,
dark. That's dark.
Speaking of
Don't
mass
forget, I'm just a
genocide,
little
we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Wait.
Wait,
We didn't genocide anything
Yet.
except future.
Which is a lot of things, actually. Hello and welcome to Cause and Effect, where all the problems are, in fact, the player's fault. Don't you mean characters, Crash? Them too. My name is
Mostly
Crash.
the players.
My name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, Beth, Ellie, Io, and Milo. What happened last time?
There was so much beer. Sorry.
We went to to the Fantasy Hilton dinner, the luncheon the day before, the session beforehand. This time I actually used my powers for good. We went to help out these kobolds who were having nightmares and randomly dying. So, I can read minds and also not get hit by psychic damage. So I guess I'm useful. So I went in and I started investigating all these little munchkins' brains, and nothing was going on. And then I found one where one was going on. And as I was trying to calm them down and figure it out, the door locked, and then there was a fight, and then apparently, and I was just sitting in there crocheting blankets for these little munchkins having nightmares. And then there was a loud noise, and I heard someone get hurt, so I slammed the wall to get him to shut up, because that's a party foul. Little dudes are sleeping. And then it killed the thing, I guess.
And turned it into terrible, terrible stale beer just as it was trying to bite Hobby's head off. And Hobby was soaked in it and started wailing for prestidigitation. And Caffel is very lucky that there was someone there who had prestidigitation, or Caffel would have been being paged over the stone.
It turned into fantasy PBR.
Player versus reality?
For the players at home, this is what happens when a party paladin channels divinity to do a thing.
Yeah.
The results are beer-themed.
I can only use my divinity powers if there's a party foul afoot, but then it usually ends up including alcohol more.
Well, we've seen the parties that Chadrick goes to. Actually, no, that's not true. If you've seen the kind of parties that Chadrick goes to, you don't remember the parties that Chadrick goes to.
Agreed.
But that's neither here nor there, because these quests have finished. You did 2 missions in the same day. I'm sure you were all very worn out. Some of you needed a bath after prestidigitation, still needed a bath.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. There were many gifs of cats taking baths. One with a shower curtain and a toothbrush that was adorable. So you've had a long rest since then. It's great.
Thank goodness.
At this point, I will say Cavill has perfected the art of boots of flying locomotion. So
not getting caught in the rafters.
Not getting caught in the rafters, but there still are many opportunities where one might wish to float just below the ceiling upside down to insert dominance, as one does, apparently. And I'm looking forward to all the occasions these boots are used, especially occasions where the DM was not planning on a party member being able to fly, but just, oh, you can get up there. Okay, then. It's fine. It's fine.
Hoppy gets up a lot of places, too.
Yes, but no, it's fine. I think first session I gave you all sending stones that you can use to contact member services to have you teleported somewhere. So it's fine. The DM has some regrets, but not many. The DM can work with this.
Regrets nothing.
Yes. So I'll say it's been a while. It could have been a day. It could have been a couple days. But when next you take a look at the Quest Hub board, the ones that you're the right level for, there's a lot of blank spots. The quests that is always there, the evergreen quests that are always there are retrieve an item for Mo, because Mo is always in the business of acquiring items that can be resold at a profit. So, that's his stock and trade. That's fine. And also the end whatever Ogmanite experiment went horribly wrong this time quest, which is just left up permanently because they're Ogmanites. Something has most likely gone horribly wrong. We don't know what it is yet, but if you go over there and say, "Hi, we're from Flag," they'll say, "Oh, wonderful. We were just about to call you. How did you know?"
I don't know if we want to hang out with Ogmanites unless there's something specific considering. On the other hand, money is money and necessary, so...
They could be researching, cat scratchers.
If I want an Ogmanite cat scratcher, those things could be dangerous.
Or new musical instruments.
No.
Or fancy weapons for Warforged.
Also no, I do not wish to be swung.
Or new microbrews.
Definitely not. We already got the old microbrew out of the fur.
Well, I'm just saying, there's opportunities. Apparently, the last quest that was taken off the board was the one about defeating space sharks because... So remember that a cohort that was mostly CL, so most of them have blue skin and pointy ears, but there's one of them that doesn't because he came in as a replacement. They're coming out of the receiving teleportation room, and one of them still has the head of a space shark chewing on his shoulder armor. It's just the head. The body's gone.
We would like to slink over and get a good sniff of that because that looks like possible sushi.
It's very fresh sushi.
Exactly.
Yes. And they as a group look very worn down.
What up?
Do you need a hand with the shark head there?
What shark head?
Point.
Oh, that shark head.
Need a hand?
And I think I got it. And he goes and starts shoving on the nose. By the way, space sharks apparently only have one eye in the center of their head. It's a little weird. They start shoving on it, and it just sort of there's a sound of teeth scratching against plate armor as the head slides off of the shoulder, and it just lands with a wet splat sound behind the fighter. The bard takes a look at that and goes, "Ooh."
Probably going to pick it up and go take it over to wherever the kitchen area is and ask, edible?
That would be the Quest Hub Bar and Grill.
Exactly.
To give
Trot. Edible?
To give this little dude who had that, this worn down dude that we're talking to, I'm going to give him a drink of my healing beer.
Okay, so you do the whole wear this amulet and drink this thing.
Yeah, just put us on for a minute. Trust me. I just feel like he needs it.
It's a situation where, yeah, probably.
I think he's earned it. And then the fact that it heals is just a nice, added benefit, so that way he doesn't, he feels better afterwards.
Whoa. So, the first sip is just like regular beer, but the aftertaste is fantastic.
I know, right?
Wow.
I just realized I have absolutely zero clue what's going on and did not even realize we started.
But yeah, I feel like he needed it.
Well,
so I'm not sure I'm actually functional to play.
Oh,
I'm gonna blame the flu shot.
yay on not getting flu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the other
No,
hand, The immune system has decided that there's an alarm here, has kicked in the door, thrown all the executives out, so there goes the executive function, and now they're racing through the building trying to find whatever set off the alarm. In full tack gear.
The alarm side.
I'm sorry, you cut out there, Milo?
I made a joke of like what if the phone call was from inside the building.
Yeah, pretty much. Considering it's a flu shot.
Yeah.
I feel like the flu shot is the outside contractor who comes in and says, I'm here to make sure you won't get the flu. And that's when everyone hits the panic buttons.
I think it's like the guy who came to my work a few weeks ago and tested all the fire alarms without making sure to tell us first.
Oh, God.
That
Murder.
seems like it would be an important part of the process.
He told everyone in the back, but not the people in the front. So, were we surprised?
Well, I hope that your fire evacuation procedure was efficient and not hazardous.
The manager sprinted from the back going, it's a chest!
That sounds like something someone would say if they'd actually accidentally set things on fire. But
I mean,
Yes, but if it's the store manager.
There is an open flame. He is roasting the coffee.
I feel like it's what you say to cover up that you accidentally set off the fire alarm. It was just a test. Just a test.
Once
Anyway.
or twice a year, my classroom is very close to the science classrooms. And once or twice a year, I have to explain to people whose rooms aren't right next to the science classrooms. The science classrooms are there. They were doing a lab experiment. It's fine. They were making toast. You're smelling toast. It's not even burning.
Toast. Crash,
Yes.
don't make me hungry. I had breakfast. Don't make me hungry.
Well, you're the one who brought up seafood made of shark.
Yes, but
Space
you
shark.
see,
It's very light.
Hobby likes meat, but I don't.
Okay.
Therefore, I'm not hungry about the sushi. Hobby is hungry about the sushi. Hobby
But you-
wants to know if it's edible.
But you know who likes beer? Kurg, the CL fighter, who just got a swig of healing beer thanks to an amulet that Kurg has totally forgotten that he's wearing right now.
Taking it back.
Oh, sure, no problem, little dude. Oh, this is really good. You are definitely invited to my next party.
More networking.
See, guys? I'm charismatic.
Yeah, you are definitely Karazhan. Yeah, you're definitely Karazhan.
Sure.
And has booze.
The party rogue comes over and starts trying to pull Kurg away from this conversation. Like, come on, you are going to collapse during our next mission if you don't get a long rest. Oh, but I was just talking to my friend Chadrick. Yeah, cool. Nice meeting you. We'll have a party sometime, I guess. Right. Bye.
Doppler effect is fading, is dragged off. Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. Now, this party you met before, so you had some interaction with them during the brain
Timeshare meeting.
The timeshare meeting, where you only got 500 Fantasy Hilton points. And apparently those have all been hoarded by Chadrick.
And
But
a
Chadrick
pickle.
was the only one with a membership card, so, whatever.
And second of all, you guys know that if there's going to be a vacation, I'm going to be part of it.
So the timeshare was obviously not a vacation because you wanted little to do with it.
Well,
But future timeshare endeavors.
it was a free lunch and Fantasy Hilton points, and no chaos whatsoever. It was all normal conversations that were had by normal people. There was no intimidation required for the person who may or may not have been doing mind control via food. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. We're all fine here. How are you? But in any case, you got the idea then that it's quite possible that the rogue, whose name is Dirge, may or may not be party mom.
Aww.
But not in a I'm going to take care of you way, more of you are doing something wrong and I am going to deal with this because you are affecting our ability to be a cohesive party.
Aww.
Karen.
No,
On
I
her
think
bad
this is-
days, perhaps. Instead of saying I'd like to speak to the manager, Dirge might have said I'd like to stab the manager. Oh, did you mean speak to?
No.
I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
The only odd person out in that group, okay, let's face it, they're all
Bard.
odd.
Just like us.
Is the Bard. The Bard's name is Jex, and he's sort of hanging back and letting them go forward. He doesn't look as worn down as the rest of them.
What up?
But, sorry?
I said, what up?
Hello.
How was your mission, man?
Oh, it was, and Jex looks over in the direction that Hobby is going with the severed head of a space shark. Thrilling, I guess. I stood in the back and sung some songs, wiggled my fingers. It was fine.
Feel that. I managed to kill the bad guy in another room by banging on the wall and telling him to shut up.
Well done.
Great.
So much beer.
Yeah, oh yeah, I turned him into a ball of beer and he exploded.
There was a pause.
What's going on? Sorry.
There
Anyways,
was
do you want to see this baby Bjorn I made?
You made a what now?
It's like a baby carrier. I'm gonna use it to carry the kobold around when we need to run.
Why do you have a kobold? I've been asking that for some time now.
You know, literally fell on him and I kind of felt bad, so now we're friends.
Be well, Leo.
Bye.
Well, I suppose the true party is the friends you make along the way.
It's artificers.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, so I went in and I found out why all these kobolds were having nightmares. And
you did the Kobold Nightmare quest.
well, I mean, yeah, I can like read minds and not get psychic damage and not dream, so I'm fine.
Ah, that actually sounds quite lovely. It seems like a wonderful ability.
Yeah, especially since I can make people read my thoughts.
Is that something you developed over time, or?
Now I was born with it. It's Maybelline.
I'm sorry.
Future reference? Yeah.
Fantasy Maybelline has now been invented.
Yep. Or
You're
Will
gonna have
was
to get
Benedict.
bored with it. But yeah, fantasy Maybelline aside, I was born with it. It's kind of like a thing of a family line and all that cool stuff.
Oh, fascinating. Oh, my own abilities, I had to work hard to attain them, but I suppose it's nice to be born with certain skills. Meanwhile, Hobby, I'm assuming you've gone up to the Quest Hub Bar and Grill and dropped the giant shark head on the counter.
I just sort of push it there and keep the drippy part so that the drippy part doesn't get on the counter too much yet and go, edible?
So you're making sure the drippy part doesn't get on the counter. Which side
Too
of the
much.
counter is it going to drip down on?
The side that's probably on poor Hobby's toes, but I mean, Cavil's around here somewhere for prestidigitation.
Imagine, if you will, that this is a scene that's being filmed. We're doing an over-shoulder shot of Mork, who's manning the bar at the moment, looking at Hobby, and we just see some random adventurer in the background walking by, minding their own business, do a cartoony slip, go horizontal while 2 feet in the air, and then fall straight down move. Because the shark head was dripping the entire trip over here. You left a trail.
Leaving a trail anyway.
And for some adventurers, dexterity is their dump stat.
That is always a bad idea. Since
Be a bad issue.
Frequently healers, because, lower initiative roll, you end up going last, and that's good. And what is the that is one heck of a long slip.
Yeah.
So Mork is looking at the space shark with one eyebrow raised. Okay, so technically Mork only has one eyebrow, but it's raised over one eye. The other eye is at normal height, you assume.
Mhm.
I'm guessing this is a fish. Did
Fish
it
turd.
talk?
I'm not sure. It came in with point over in the direction of the other group. The blue
Oh,
elves.
that was for the Moon Kobold quest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they probably didn't talk. I have to ask because there's no rules about that.
Uh-huh.
It's bad for business if you eat possible adventurers. So there's a chance, but it depends on the shark. Some of them are toxic. Some of them you gotta bury them in the backyard for a few weeks and let them ferment properly. But
He is
I
making
can-
the hopeful expression of the kitten in the gif here.
look, I can't say it'll be ready today,
That's
but I'll see what I can do.
You're the best.
It's what my wife tells me. Okay. And Mork picks up the shark head and turns it so drippy end is up. So it's more like a bowl now. But the problem is now things start to drip out the mouth.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, let's just take this over here and through the store.
Put in the bucket.
Calls to one of his children to come over with a mop. Something like that, yeah. Meanwhile, Tex, what are you up to?
X is at quest registration asking what the Ogmanites are up to.
What aren't they up to? I mean, we to be honest, we stopped asking. We just, every time someone wants to do a quest over there, we send them. And
That's fair.
and they think that we are listening in on them or something, because every time we send someone over, they're waiting for someone to come over.
Well, perhaps we will pay them a visit. Is
I
that
mean,
something we need to register with you, or should we just go over?
oh, well, there's the paperwork. We can do that here. Yeah, sure.
All right. I am happy to do paperwork.
Fantastic. And you are doing the paperwork to further the plot along. Technically, everything that's happening is furthering the plot along. We're going to have a new chain of Tabaxi-themed Space Shark Sushi restaurants coming up. And Chadrick is going to have Thursday night parties, apparently. So,
Sounds like Chadrick.
yeah.
You know, pretty on top of my stuff lately. It's a little terrifying. I think I deserve a party.
So, Chadrick, give me an insight check.
No. Let's see. 8.
Okay.
Great.
Your sense of Jax is... Well, Jax, not Jax. Your sense of Jax is he really needs a break. He's been hanging out with the submarine optimals is the name of that particular cohort. And, you know, Kirk seems like a nice guy, but you're not so sure about the other two. And it looks like it's wearing down on Jax a bit.
Personally.
What's that?
Personally, I can tell that there's something weird with him. It's fine.
So here's the thing. Think about every NPC I have thrown at this party since session 1.
Yeah.
There is always something weird with them. There is
Yes.
always something weird with them. And you are
Sure.
not wrong to feel that way. You are correct. You, Milo, are rolling a nat 20 every time you say that. But sometimes the weird thing is, this is a kobold who just had his entire clan splatted.
I mean, I personally am pressing X to doubt about the way that he responded to some of my comments. I can tell he's a salty sander.
Well, but at the same time, Chadwick rolled an 8.
Yes, Chadrick, unfortunately, is still riding the high of being complimented about his beer making skills. As I said also, I am in the middle of blasting Party Rock in this dude's head. Because
I'm going to make another roll.
Probably to attack.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I got perception, something I'm good at. 13.
At some point in the conversation, you faintly hear him hearing. You're pretty sure you faintly hear him humming the Party Rock anthem. You're not sure he knows he's doing it.
That's the best kind.
Poor Bard.
Well, I'm just giving him more songs to use.
Also, he has the strangest musical instrument you've ever seen. And you're from
Oh
the
my gosh,
future.
what does he have?
I'm looking up the correct spelling for this. It's called a Zolkoon.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Sorry, I spelled that wrong. It's with a Z, not an X. I looked up the frickin' spelling and still spelled it wrong.
A complex pump organ?
Oh my gosh, is he gonna
Okay, that does in fact look like a combination of bagpipes.
If you had a
and-
one-man band that had bagpipes,
Yes,
that's
thinking
what a
bagpipes
Zolkoon
and-
is.
and an accordion
That's
kind of.
beautiful. Yeah, I want Party Rock played through that right now.
You want what?
Party Rock being played through that instrument. It's amazing.
Oh, well.
We're in character again? Oh.
Details.
Anytime it's funny to assume we were in character, I'm going to assume we were in character.
That is fine.
It might ruin the plot, but I don't care.
I mean, since when did I care?
Okay, so that's a 13 on the performance check to play Party Rock Anthem on the Zulkoon.
Can I assist?
You may assist. I will roll for
Since
advantage
I am
then.
putting the notes into it. How do I do that? It's been a while.
I rolled lower.
No!
So it's if you know the Party Rock Anthem, it sounds like the Party Rock Anthem. But there might be more space between you and everyone else in the guild hall than there was before.
Sound terrible or just weird? Are we talking your kids are going to love this scene from Back to the Future?
It's more like the guy knows how to play a Zulkoon, but he's not played that particular song before.
It's a guy who's not the best at sight reading.
I mean, that's fair.
Also, at one part when he blows particularly hard on one of the wind instrument portions of the Zulkoon, a little bit of Space Shark flies out of one of the openings.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So that's where that went.
I'm sorry. My brain's just imagining having to clean that instrument.
No, that's okay. The first cantrip I learned was prestidigitation. And then he says that for like 5 straight turns as he's cleaning out. Now, the entire Zulkoon fits into a space that can be cleaned with 1 casting of prestidigitation.
Needs a lot
That
of
does
it.
not stop him from casting it 5 times.
I cast it 5 times too.
Good for him. I approve.
Because that thing goes near your mouth and that thing has nooks and crannies.
Yes, but I only exhale into it. I don't inhale.
And yet,
But
you don't
still,
want...
Can you imagine the rotting meat with your warm breath and the
That's usually not a problem, but Kurg got a little overzealous, I want to say. It's been the end of a long day, and he was out of action surges, so yeah.
Kuma has
multi-class into barbarian. This is times when you just want to multi-class into barbarian and go, heck with it. I'm raging.
The thing is, that'd be really cool, but I can't.
To be honest, I suggested he try doing some barbarian training, but he likes wearing the plate armor. And to be fair, still got it. Okay. To be fair, the plate armor did sort of make sure I didn't have to reattach an arm today, so I do see the benefits of it.
Gets kind of heavy, though.
At this point, Tex, you have done the registration for the Ogmanite quest.
Okay. And I just need to gather everybody else, which is literally going to be herding cats.
Well, herding a cat, and a kobold, and a Chadrick.
It's me.
Which Chadrick is his own thing.
I'm a Chadrick.
The cat might be the easy part.
Sadly,
Technically, A is currently being carried around by Chadrick and a baby Bjorn. So if you can herd Chadrick, you're getting a 2-for-1. I'm not really sure how I got here.
I needed to make sure it fit you, dude.
Have you been crocheting that around A?
Well, how else is it gonna fit?
Are you going to be able to get A out of it without scissors?
It's okay. I'm very dexterous. I can just have the DM make a roll for
amateur
me.
do you think I am? Of course, I gave it give.
Checking.
I've rolled a 2 on the die for A trying to get out of the baby Bjorn. A is now currently upside down with their tail in Chadrick's face, arms and legs flailing ineffectually.
Sweetie, and I pick him up and I put him back in correctly.
I am gently guiding these 3 so that this is happening while we're walking out the door.
So you know the scene in Emperor's New Groove where, yay, I'm a llama again? That is A's reaction to find that A has been repositioned in the baby Bjorn.
He's a llama again?
I'm as confused by this as everyone else. I was supposed to be dead. Canonically, I think that's accurate.
You were, but that's fine, little buddy. We fight fate.
Can we not fight fate? I think that's above my experience level.
It's not on the quest list. We don't get paid to do it. Let's not.
Well,
Which
we've
quest are
already
you
done it.
doing now?
Hey, Tex, what quest are we doing?
We're going to visit the Ogmanites.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Well, my group seems to be indisposed at the moment, and you appear to be down a bard.
Do you
Would
want to
you mind
tag
if-
along? Or do you
Yeah.
need a long rest?
I'm pretty good right now. They did most of the work for the last one, to be honest. I would not mind tagging along so long as I get a share of the revenue for the share of the risk.
Fair.
Okay. Well, this will be enlightening.
Educational.
Have you done?
We are...
About me.
Have you been to the Enclave before?
No, but Ogmanites.
Not in this campaign.
This campaign has gone to the Enclave before, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. That's right. We went looking for them at the...
When you were researching the
murdered-
killed Warforged.
Yes, the murdered Warforged. So it's like, once.
Yeah.
They're educational. We are educational. There is so much education here.
Yes,
Avoid it.
just avoid pressing buttons is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Never press a button unless you know what it's going to do. And when you know what it's going to do, you press it right before someone runs into the door.
You know, I actually do like the way you think.
Hmm.
So, this is in town, so are you going to walk there or take the fast way?
That's a good question. I couldn't find the map of Flotsam. So
Sure. Pinned, ain't it?
It's going
Nope,
to be a
it's-
jump cut. Well, not jump cut. It's going to be a smash cut either way. The question is, are you going to teleport or not?
How
Let's
long of a
teleport.
walk is it? Yeah, teleport's good. Also
a few
depends on how
minutes.
long a walk. Yeah.
Okay. So you teleport to the front door and you walk through, and Kevin's there again. He's reading a different comic book this time.
Wave, wave.
Oh.
hello, Kevin.
Hi. So the thing is, every now and then they send a message down that I'm supposed to contact Flag, and I just sort of stopped doing that. And you guys keep showing up. There's a 20 gold piece bet right now that you have some type of scrying device somewhere around this desk. Do you have a scrying device at this desk or
No,
no?
I just have impeccable timing.
Who would win the bet?
If
That's
we
all.
told
I
you
don't-
no, if we told you no, would you believe us?
Oh, well, sometimes I can read minds, so yes, I would. That's also why I don't bet. It's unfair.
We
No.
personally probably don't have a scrying device on the desk.
Oh, okay.
Personally.
There's a
I
few
don't.
people who are going to be relieved by that. Not sure that'll settle the bet, though. They'll just say that you were lying to me. But, you know, whatever.
So what were they
um,
doing under the desk that they were worried about there might be a scrying device?
They wouldn't tell me. So, and there's some minds I just don't
Your
read.
minds?
So, last time you were here, remember I asked if you had a bag of holding or not, or anything like that? And that would depend on what buttons you press in the elevator.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to take the stairs to whichever you're going to, because yesterday a group lied.
Take the stairs.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Well, let's see. And Kevin starts flipping through a bunch of papers on the desk. That got dealt with. That blew itself out. That blew itself up. That blew itself down. Here we go. That brew itself up. This smells like alcohol. Yeah.
What we're
so
for.
I gotta check my notes to know I'm saying this right. So the brewminders had an experiment not quite work well. Apparently, 3 of their volunteers ran out screaming, and the lab underneath them is starting to have drips come through the ceiling. So they're on the 3rd floor, down the hall, 3rd door on the left.
Drink, this one's for you. Push, push, push.
Okay. So I'm assuming that's where you head.
Uh-huh.
And I have a map for you.
Okay, let's see if Alvaro Rodeo will play nice with me with this map.
I'll move Cabell off the map for now. There we go.
Do you have a... Well, it's got a background that's wood print.
Yes, it does.
Does it have anything besides that normally?
It should.
Okay, let me start up my phone.
I'm jabbering. A.
I'm a little uncomfortable with this. I may have mentioned this once or twice.
Well, little buddy, unfortunate.
So remember when we went into the Kobold Union place?
Okay,
And,
I'll put you back down.
And
Yeah,
I got to hang out around the corner
yeah,
and just like roll around in ashes, apparently.
yeah.
Very well done.
I-
Thank you.
Barty O'Barterson? Who names a bard?
Perfect.
Yeah, but if you name him Barty McBarterson or Barterson, the name is too long. There is a embossed plaque outside the door to the lab that says Microbrew Research Department, Vlad Brewminder and Brad Brewminder, heads of research. Chadwick has busted through the doors, may or may not have yelled "boom baby" on the way in.
It's up to interpretation.
You are in. I'm just looking at because individuals in the party are working very hard to connect to Owlbear Rodeo with devices that will work with Owlbear Rodeo. I'm just looking at names appearing and disappearing, but when you first join, it gives you random names. So, like, Giant Goat has entered.
That's when I tapped the URL from Discord and it created an instance of me being in there. And then I decided that I did not like that it would not rotate in Discord, so it rotates. But it left the goat. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It amuses me. So,
Oh, good.
Chadwick, please do not move the very large, expensive brewing equipment around.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was trying to make the map bigger, and I think I accidentally moved something. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I put it back. So Chadwick has burst through the door, and the first thing that hits your nose is that wonderful smell of well, it depends on your definition of wonderful. The smell of evaporating alcohol, which on one hand it means you're in the right place, but on the other hand it means that alcohol is entering the atmosphere having not been digested. The floor is somewhat damp. The various tables that you see in here are they're covered in glass and metal, all kinds of stuff that looks like it's science-y, but science-y in regards to liquid specifically. The crates that you see at the southern end of the room are made of metal, but there are little bits of wood laying scattered around the room on the floor.
Can I perceive?
I have told you everything you perceive.
Okay. I didn't know if I
There
needed
is-
to roll to perceive more.
One more thing, there is a door in the southeastern corner that
That's what
is
that
made
was.
of metal. Sorry?
I said I was about to ask what that was.
Yeah. It's a door, similar construction to the ones that Chadwick went through. Made of metal, fits snugly into the wall. I couldn't get it to fit snugly into the wall and still have it show up on the map, so that's why it sticks out a little bit.
I'll go knock on the door.
I'm just trying to smell the alcohols now. It's fine. I'm okay.
I feel a little woozy.
Having flashbacks, that's all.
It's kind of strong in here. It smells like somebody was trying to clean something and they mopped the floor with it. But I don't think that's the cleaner you're supposed to use on floors.
No. How wet is the floor?
It's damp. There's no puddles, but it is definitely damp.
Hex is definitely taking advantage of the fact that she doesn't need to breathe.
True. I would like Chadwick and I would like all biologicals to make a save, a Constitution save specifically. Jex
No.
has failed the save.
Oh, no. Let's see.
I'm not. I know you would like me to make this save, but I do not think I am going to make this
Yeah,
save.
I'm not going
A-
to make this save either.
A,
A
made the
rolled a
save.
nat 20.
A is such a good kobold.
I'm glad someone did.
I've gotten very used to holding my nose when something smells bad.
But what if I think it smells good?
I think it makes my voice sound funny, but other people tell me that there's no change.
Voices are weird like that. Whoa.
Yeah, so you are under the poisoned condition.
What does that do?
Nothing much, but you are going to be rolling a disadvantage.
Disease?
It's not a disease. They're drunk.
Okay, but aren't I like immune to that?
Apparently not. Now, Tex, you went across the room and knocked on the door, right? Tex?
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay. So on the other side of the door, you hear, it's a little muffled, but, go away! We know you're trying to get in here!
What's your beer process?
It doesn't sound like it.
Please?
It could be trying to trick us.
I just really want to know about beer.
He said he really wants to know about beer. Why would the beer monster be yelling about knowing beer? Because it wants to learn more about its powers, that's why.
Really?
Beer
need some
monster?
beer.
I
Oh my
assure you
God,
that
this
I
is-
am not a beer monster.
Did you make a monster for me?
Do not kiss the beer elemental, Chadrick.
Roll for initiative.
Oh no.
Team.
Bad. I rolled a what for initiative? That is pathetic. I cannot possibly. I don't have to roll twice for this one, do I? Because I don't think I can get worse than that.
I'm not going to worry about it right now. Don't press auto roll initiative, Crash. Everyone's rolled for initiative. Press the button that starts the combat. Okay. So one of the tanks, one of the stills, apparently, that was in the northern portion of this particular room, has a pressure valve pop open and a giant, you want to say water elemental, but imagine, if you will, it was made of beer.
Beautiful.
Spews out, and there's a horrible noise as it does this. The pressure wave of this thing flying out of the tank actually pushes against all of you, knocks over some of the science equipment, and the door right behind A slams shut in the process.
Can I control the beer?
Well, you can definitely make that attempt on your turn.
Yeah. Am I not a beer bender?
No, you are not a beer bender. If you
Sure
were
is.
a water genasi, we could definitely make that argument, and it would be very scary.
And hilarious.
And hilarious, yes. Fun fact, D&D Next does... Oh, sorry, not that was turned into 5th edition. 1D&D does have rules for having mixed parentage between any established races. So you could have been a Kalashtar water genasi.
Amazing.
Except neither of those is in 1D&D yet, but never mind about that. So first up is Jex. Oh, so the healer goes first, I guess. This is...
You can always wait. You just, hold your action.
I mean, I could, but I have things to do.
Well,
So I guess I'm just going to do this. So the big bad over there. Yes, you. Chill out, and Jex casts Ray of Frost.
Dude.
prove.
That is a 16. And because I put more than one thing in the combat tracker, because I didn't know which quest you were going to do, that hits.
Excellent.
That is 8 cold damage. Checking condition immunities to make sure I didn't plan this poorly. All right, so yeah, 8 cold damage.
Reduced speed.
I'm sorry?
And reduced speed, surely, for Ray of Frost, was it?
I think so.
Well, if it's the Ray of Frost cantropy thing that,
Yes.
well, then that also
Yep,
has...
Speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of its next turn, which is fine. It almost certainly isn't incredibly close to Chadrick.
Yeah, well, it's going to be attracted to Chadrick. Chadrick murders beer all the time.
Yes, it's here for revenge. Tex, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go.
Tex runs over to right next to the big bad. I'm sure this is going to be fine.
You're back.
This is one of the few opportunities where Tex can look at the thing that Tex is fighting and say, "My, you're a tall one."
It is the big bad, after all.
Yes,
Well, I don't know how much of what I said you heard.
absolutely none of it, except for
Okay.
like half a syllable.
Well, since I'm assuming that since it says bad on its label, it's a bad guy. Well, a bad thing.
That's quite likely. Also, the researchers are currently hiding through a door, worried that it was trying to sneak its way in.
That's true. In any event, I'll get the target in my sights, and I'm gonna shoot bullets at it. No, I'm gonna hit it with a hammer.
You hit it with a hammer-shaped bullet that you don't actually let go of.
Yeah.
And this isn't. It's not showing me my rolls.
It said you had a 13,
Okay.
which will miss.
Well, let's try again.
That's a 25.
Which I assume misses as well.
No, 25 is definitely going to hit. It hits squarely in the center of its watery mass.
And I am expending a superiority die.
You also hear a hissing sound when you hit it.
Carbonated.
Seltzer.
Fizzy.
It's a whole thing of White Claw.
So that's 7 damage, and the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than me has advantage if the attack is made before the start of my next turn.
Okay. I heard you say that's 7 damage, but I also see a roll for 13 damage.
I spent a superiority die, so the superiority die is 7 damage.
Okay, but the maul
And-
itself did 13.
Right.
Okay. Just making sure that I'm putting in all the damage that you are requesting. Also, you take 3 points of acid damage from Splashback.
Okay.
This is the kind of alcohol that burns going down. But also apparently burns coming back up again. So watch out for that.
And I don't know if this came through, but the next attack against it by someone other than me has advantage.
That part did come through, but I'm glad you repeated it. Because
Okay.
I will still probably forget, but now it's definitely going to be my fault. Chadrick, you're up.
Gosh, I can't even take myself out of this combat. I have to be.
You're
Let's
trapped in a room.
You could
Right
hide
next
behind
to
the
it.
brewing equipment.
see. Yeah, did we have a rest at all?
Yes, you did have a long rest since the last session.
Good. Just making sure. I have a question.
I have many answers, most of which will be depressing.
If I choose to channel divinity, can I control the alcohol?
No, I am not going to let you just control the big bad by channeling divinity.
What if Chad made
Was it-
I have an idea. What if Chadrick used all the other alcohol to make an enemy fighter alcohol who was friendly to us and would attack the big bad?
If channel divinity was like the wish spell, then we could probably work something out.
I have no idea about these things.
Let's see.
In Kobolds in Space, you could probably actually do that. All you need to do is roll 2d6 to see if it works.
Let's see what else. If I use bless on this thing, can it go into my flask?
Well, currently it's counting as an opponent, so
No.
casting Bless on it would probably help it more than it helps you.
That's
And there's a
true.
lot more there than would fit in your flask.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Thunderous Smite. Ugh.
Chadrick is the most reluctant combatant.
Okay, so let's see. Do a strength saving roll.
That's 22.
Never mind. But anyway, let's see if this attack hits. I'm gonna use my whip because I don't want to touch that.
Okay, you will have to move 5 feet closer.
I
I
will
just-
move closer and then use my.
There's a party paladin.
Where did
Never
my
mind.
inspiration go?
You've used it.
Okay, well, I have 2 attacks, so we're gonna do this again. 17. Does a 17 hit?
A 17 will hit. You whip
Okay,
it good.
cool. So I have this and then plus this. So,
3 plus 8.
and then the 8 is electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Does that do extra
I
damage
hate
to a
that I
liquid?
love that.
Electric boogie.
Don't make me force you to make a dexterity save to avoid the electric slide. The floor is still damp, dagnabbit. It could happen.
Uh-oh.
But you see, I have used electricity on a liquid object using my whip.
Yes, and it's glorious, but you also take 3 acid damage.
Whip!
Yeah, you're within 5 feet of it, and you got splashback from hitting it with a whip.
God.
Next up is what you'd have been fighting if you'd done the other quest. Next up is A, who is not conveniently in my combat tracker. I've got to go to a whole other character sheet because dagnabbit, A has levels.
Free.
So, I hope you don't mind if I kind of just hang back here with you guys.
That's a good idea. Protect the bard.
Yes, little one. Keep me safe. That's definitely a thing that you should be doing. All right, I'll keep you safe. Don't worry. Just stay in front of me. Wait, behind me. Sorry, I'm new to this. It's okay. You're doing well. Wonderful. It's a shame it's not your turn. I could have taken that as inspiration. All right, I'm going to try to hit it with a short bow.
You didn't make yourself laugh.
What's that?
But you didn't make yourself laugh.
Different kind of inspiration, but also that's a 21 to hit.
Okay, eh?
Did they crit? Was that an natural
No, it was
20?
16 plus 5.
Nice.
Short bows are dexterity weapons, and this is a kobold. And that's a whopping 4 points of damage.
But
Man, look at that.
yes.
But also, I need a second opinion on this. Would you argue that this big bad is currently engaged with other members of the party?
Yes.
Say so.
Yeah,
We're
so
engaged in a long toxic relationship.
It did damage to Chadrick, therefore it is obviously engaged in combat.
okay, so that would imply that sneak attack damage is a thing.
Sneak.
Mhm.
All right.
And no one expects a tiny kobold to actually hit.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition kobold. I gotta workshop this.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll work it in post.
That is a mighty 6 points of damage, which would have bloodied A. But good news, A did this at range, so A is not splashed by acid. Hobby.
Hobby is going to. Can Hobby jump onto the nearest great big distillery thing? Like up there?
You can jump on some of the equipment, but some of it goes up to the ceiling. I would say if I move you to here,
Okay, you move me.
right there, you can be on top of that part.
Okay. And then Hobby is also going to do the Ray of Frost because, I mean... Oh, did Chadrick get the bonuses that Tex gave for anything, or...
Hey, remember when I said I'm going to forget that and it's totally going to be my fault?
Uh-huh.
Chadrick, give me an attack roll
Right
real
after
quick.
that.
Chadrick gives the attack roll.
So how much is added?
Nothing gets added, but I think, Ellie, you said the next person who attacks the big bad gets advantage.
Yes.
Yeah. So Chadrick,
Do we
your
get to
first
roll
attack
again?
missed. Your first attack missed, but you didn't roll with advantage. So just make another attack roll to see if this was going to be higher.
No.
Okay. So that's resolved
Oh, well.
quickly. Hobby, it's your turn.
It was
Hobby
a good
is going to also do Ray of Frost
All right. Make a roll.
while yelling Frost Witch Blast because
Oh.
that's I think that's the one I rolled to get it. It will not hit.
Sadly, it will not.
Oh well.
Next up, it's this thing's turn. It is going to make 2 slam attacks. The first one will be against Tex. That's a 15 to hit.
That'll miss.
The second will be against Chadrick. That is a 22 to hit. I'm looking at Chadrick's character sheet, and that's going to be a hit. So, Chadrick,
Yeah.
I got some bad news for you.
Oh no.
Beer hits back.
Yep. Well, first of all, that's going to be 13 bludgeoning damage
Oh.
Rude.
and 11 acid damage.
Excuse me?
Very rude.
It burns. It burns like whiskey.
Y'all, I'm not doing great. I am not doing great, my friends. This is why I avoid conflict.
All right. Well, we are back up at the start of the initiative, and it's Jex's turn. Oh, I suppose I should do something about that then. Can I do something about that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yes, I can. I'm just going to go around behind all of you. Pardon me. Pardon me. Here we go. I don't know what I just stepped in, but I am going to send cleaning bill to the Augmenites. Yes. Hello, Chadrick. You seem to not be doing particularly well. Would you mind if I provided a small bit of assistance?
Small bit of what?
Help. I intend to help you.
Yes, please. Also, I was wondering if this was something I could use Channel Divinity on.
Were you asking in character if you can use Channel Divinity?
No.
Okay. Well, having someone help you is not something you can Channel Divinity on unless.
No, I meant for the fact that I got hit for like 40 points of damage.
Well, Channel Divinity does different things for different subclasses. So you'll have to tell me which Channel Divinity feature you're using for that. Because I rules lawyered it for you last time, but now you're gonna have to do it that yourself. But in any case, that's a 2nd level Cure Wounds. You heal 9 points.
Then, let's see. I could rebuke the violent. Oh, it has to attack someone who isn't me. I am ready.
And,
Unfortunately, well, there's text there, so.
Ooh, do a dinner
as-
attack.
Is it just attack someone who isn't you, or successfully
Yeah, to attack a creature. Immediately after an attacker within 30 feet deals damage with an attack against a creature other than me, I can use my reaction to cause damage.
Tragically deals damage is the key element there.
Yeah, because did it deal damage to you?
No.
Dang it.
well, it did. It was acid damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all you need is someone to do a successful hit. They're going to take damage. Although that's not really an attack.
No. What I got was a real attack, but unfortunately it was
yes.
me.
And Jex calls over to Tex. Tex, you're doing fantastic. Good job on the dodging and the getting splashed by acid, I guess. But in any case, that's Bardic Inspiration for you. That's a D8 Bardic Inspiration for Tex.
Neat, thank you.
He's so great at this.
And it's Tex's turn. The only person who wants to be here less than Chadrick, situational-wise, is Jex.
Poor Jex.
That's not true. A might have some regrets, but A is braving it out because A's friend is here.
I can support
gets
my
packed
friends this time.
A gets pack tactics.
Oh, that's right. A does get pack tactics. That's not supposed to be a feature with the new Kobold setup, but never mind about that. But Tex, it's your turn. I see an 11 to hit. That unfortunately will be a miss. Unless you want to use your Bardic Inspiration.
Use the Bardic Inspiration. Will that potentially get me to a hit?
It could potentially get you to a hit, but it's not guaranteed. You add 7 to that, it's getting to a hit.
Excellent.
That's 13 maul damage, as opposed to department
And-
store damage, which is a different kind of damage entirely.
I am spending a superiority die to call A in.
That sucker.
I really don't want to go any further into the room than I already am.
That's okay. You can make a ranged attack.
Oh, okay. I can do that. By the way, it's bloodied.
Thank goodness.
Oh.
I can't just click on A. I made a character sheet for A. I have to go to A's character sheet. I've already told myself this. I'm doing it again.
You'll remember eventually.
No, I won't.
Eventually. Like when you start the next campaign.
All right, so that would be a hit, but pack tactics, so I'm going to roll again. That would not be a hit. I'm glad I had pack tactics. Okay, and that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Plus 1d8.
And it hasn't been A's turn yet. It's 4 points of damage. So A can't do another sneak attack
Okay.
yet. All right,
Oh well.
Chadrick.
Is it my turn or are you just saying my name?
Well, I do like to keep you on your toes, but this time it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see.
Also, I really hope that I'm picking up everything that everyone's saying, and it's just my Bluetooth headset that's going bad on me.
Ooh.
Because everyone's coming through in little bits and pieces. But
Ooh.
I'm fairly certain it's the Bluetooth headset that's starting to go bad, or my Bluetooth transmitter starting to go bad. This has happened before.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Well, I'm hearing you pretty smoothly, so.
Is A in the danger zone?
A is not. A and Hobby
good.
are safe. Jex might also be safe. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Hide behind that there big old cask.
Oh, those are tables.
Oh. Flip the table. Hide behind the table.
I don't want to get hit again.
The table weighs more than I do.
I'm gonna cast heroism on Tex.
Good idea.
That and Tex, you're now immune to being frightened, and you also have 3 more HP,
Is that
You know what?
temporary hit points or
temporary hit points.
You know what we all completely forgot about?
Yeah.
Everyone except for Tex is drunk.
A is also not drunk.
Well, okay. Everyone except for Tex and A is drunk. Therefore, everyone except for Tex and A should have been rolling a disadvantage.
That's
Oh.
all right. I missed anyway, so.
To be fair, I have to roll anything for this.
Well, yes.
But yeah,
I put my
because
condition-
I don't like being hit with acid.
Most people are opposed to it.
I've heard.
I personally would defederate from any instance that was pro-acid.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't agree in being anti that, but I am definitely anti-acid.
Yeah. So, Chadwick, is there anything else you do, or cast heroism?
You know, I am just ready to use my channel divinity, but I'm waiting.
Okay.
I just don't want to get hit. I'm not going to get hit.
You might take a step back or something. Put that up in that table and hide it and shove it between you like a shield.
You could always encourage.
Because I don't want to make A think that that's okay.
You got to set a good example. A is very impressionable.
Exactly. So like I'm choosing to be like support, not run away.
Speaking of A,
So
it's
you-
now A's turn.
Go, A.
A is shooting again with the short bow. That is a 17 to hit. By the way, fun fact,
Nice.
Chadrick, you are directly on the opposite side of the big bad, the ale elemental, as has been suggested in chat, from A. So technically, each of these short bow arrows is flying through the big bad directly towards you.
Cool.
And you get just the briefest glimpse of it dissolving before it comes through the other side.
Cool.
I think that their beer had way too much acidity.
It's very cool, considering it's been hit by 2 rays of frost.
One,
Yeah,
I missed.
oh.
And that, okay, 1 ray of frost. And that's 8 points of damage.
Is that a sneak attack damage?
Oh,
Now it really
yeah.
is A's turn.
Thank you for reminding me. You didn't
Huh?
remind me that everyone was drunk, but you reminded me about that. Okay.
I put my own condition
I
of
see
being
how it is.
poisoned.
Okay.
I put my own condition of poisoned on here. I was good.
You were a good tabaxi. Also, it's your
Yes.
turn.
I'm going to pull out this dadgum sling that I've got, and I'm going to use that to try to hit the extremely chilled beeramental that it is way too acidic. So if I have the condition poisoned on, will it automatically roll twice, or do I have to do something?
That's a very good question.
Shall I find out?
Let's find out.
I'll click it and find out. Well, that's a 12. I assume that's not going to hit.
That is not going to hit.
Why don't I just keep that one, because that's the one that I'm going to get on a disadvantage anyway.
Yeah, it would not roll. You wouldn't be able to roll higher.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whoosh.
So the slings and arrows have done damage and not done damage, respectively. Well, other way around.
Sticks and stones
The-
will break its bones, but the stone missed.
You came here for outrageous fortunes, but alas. It's the elemental's turn. It is going to take a swing at Tex. Tex, that's a 24 to hit.
That's just barely gonna hit me.
Okay. You are going to take 13 bludgeoning damage and 11 acid damage.
Divinity.
I've heard of that video game.
Yeah. Anyways, I rebuke the violent. You have to make a wisdom saving throw.
As
I hope it's not
animated
wise.
beer, it is very wise.
As anything else, is it very wise?
It's very wise for animated beer. That is a 5.
Nope. So you take radiant damage equal to what you just did.
Does that include the acid and the...
Milo, my sibling in Christ. This is the second session in a row where you're getting the kill shot with a channel divinity. How do you want to do this?
Exactly, turn it to beer.
You could
You
turn,
could turn it into
beer.
worse beer,
No, why would I do that?
better beer.
I think I'm going to
Water.
funnel it down into the drain.
You mean you're sending it into an elementary canal?
Anyway.
I love everything about this.
You gave me that straight line.
Wait, does that count as inspiration?
You know what? I'm retroactively giving all of you inspiration because you've all made me laugh at least once and I haven't been keeping track. Okay,
I have.
so
All right.
it spins around in a nice little Wizards of the Coast or Square Enix animation thing. And the little filter thing that sits on top of the drain in the middle of the room just sort of does a little metallic sound as it spins in a couple circles and then lands appropriately on top of the pipe that it leads down to.
Took care of the dude.
Hmm?
I'm telling you behind the door.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
Oh, okay.
I require
second.
a towel.
We got to move some stuff out of the way of the door.
Claire.
And there's the sound of moving boxes, and this goes on for some time. And eventually
Maybe we'll try to use the mage hand to wipe beer off of Portex. It's sort of like the Portabaxi's prestidigitation.
there may have been some etching.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a pretty strong acid. So, just so you know, there were 3 individuals hanging out, just chilling on the other side of that door, in what was apparently supposed to be designed as a panic room because Ogmanites are sometimes self-aware, but it was mostly being used for storage because sometimes Ogmanites are not. There's 2 dwarves that look identical. They are Vlad and Brad.
Transporter accident.
They're actually not related. They're Vlad and Brad Brewminder, but Brad married into the clan. So, but for some reason they look almost identical. Well, to non-dwarves they look identical, I guess. But the third person was apparently test subject number 4. Their name is Cedric, and they are a black-scaled dragonborn. A very sheepish-looking black-scaled dragonborn. We're really glad you came in when you did. We were a little upset with that latest round of test results. We were not really expecting that particular physiological reaction.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, we've been working for some time, a few decades actually, on a self-brewing beer.
Maybe
Yeah.
no.
Maybe yes.
Oh, it's on par with Gear Grinder Special in its potency. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Unfortunately, apparently, it reacts violently to some physiologies. And Cedric, the Dragonborn are relatively large beings. Cedric tries to look more A's size. No, you gotta hunch your shoulders a little bit like this.
Telling me that when someone Never mind. This is too mature for the podcast.
Most people, it's fine. Dwarves, we can drink it by the crateful. But, you don't want to release it on the public and, have someone melt or something. That'd be awkward. So we were paying various people from the docks to come in and take a few sips and, seeing what the reactions were. Most of them get sloshed, which is good. That was the plan. Cedric here's the first Dragonborn to take a sip. Probably good we didn't have a red-scaled Dragonborn come in. Place isn't rated for fire damage. We should probably get fire damage insurance.
Yeah. And maybe
paid
not
for the
build
flood insurance.
Maybe not build it out of wood.
Oh, the wood's warded. It's fine.
Is the wood still warded? Or is it acidified into tap on wood?
Well, one of the dwarves, and you're still not sure which one is Vlad and which one is Brad. But one of the dwarves picks up a piece of wood. Remember I said there was wood scattered around the floor?
Uh-huh.
Picks up a piece of wood in some tongs, and it sort of just crumbles and falls down into a pulpy mess on the floor.
Was that the warded wood?
No, we're standing on the warded wood. And I'm assuming it's still warded, otherwise we'd be 1 floor lower. So anyway, thanks for coming and clearing up the mess. If you're not going to grab a broom, we got some work to do.
You gonna pay me to grab a broom?
I'm gonna go and sleep off the fact that I was useful.
I think that's a good point to end it on. that line right there.
Yes.
That's the freeze frame on Chadrick with a roguish grin. We start to hear the canned laughter and applause come in. It's the exact same canned laughter and applause that is played at the end of every episode, whether or not there was a joke. And the audience is starting to catch on that it's the exact same recording each time. But shh. But thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. What's that?
I can't believe it. All the kobolds died.
We ended reality as we know it.
We did, kinda.
Yes, that's canon.
Yeah, that's true.
Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, and Milo. Who's got a thing to plug?
Eo's mom writes books. Elizabeth-McCoy.com. Get your ebooks, and if you want to get free ebooks, and what you do is you call up your library and you say, hey, so there's these books by Elizabeth McCoy and they're really cheap for libraries. And then you download the free Libby app and you check out the books and everybody's happy, right? Speaking of books.
I'm happy.
Speaking of books, do we have any books? No, we don't have books.
Well, there is bookofjen.net, I want to
I
say.
think so. Yeah, that's true.
That'd be Jen's podcast and blog, and all kinds of cool stuff is there.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of
Cool
social
stuff?
networks,
Yeah, I run elek.xyz. That's ELEKK.xyz. It's a federated, defederated, Schrodinger's federated social media where people are pretty cool and chill, and there's none of the chuds from the Twitters at it.
yeah, we can actually say it's a fork of Mastodon, and people might know what that means now.
For our sins.
Something like that.
Mhm.
And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. So until next time, this is Crash saying, look, I'm not philosophically opposed to the Baby Bjorn, but I don't know what philosophically means.
But
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Nice.